All right, here today with Kirby Scofield from Scofield Realty out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Kirby, thanks for coming on the show, The Hustling Agent, bro. I appreciate you volunteering to come on.
Oh, thanks for having me, man.
Good. And we were talking. One of the highlights of this show is getting to meet people um, that I haven't got to meet yet, even though we're in a lot of these similar circles. Sidelined a lot of travel this year, if not all the travel because of COVID. Um, so it's good to meet you, and especially on this platform, and especially you're an independent brokerage out there. So shout out to all the independents and you for
Thanks,
doing
man.
that. And you've been buying leads longer than I've been an agent. So I love that. That's something I want to get into. So why don't you tell everybody about, where you're from, how long you've been in business, how your team and office work.
So, Kirby Scofield, I am a NorCal born and blood, and then I moved to Vegas, I moved to Southern California, 2000. Took a bank job. I became a private banker with Citibank during the CalFed merger. Learned a lot there. Became a business BDO and learned the game of knocking on doors. If they got a roll-up door, I'm knocking on it. I'm getting past that gatekeeper. And then my friend, and we're like Seinfeld, his wife cheated on him. He moved back to Vegas. We're both bankers together. And I'm like, well, I've never been to Vegas. And he got me an interview. They gave me the same salary. I slept on his mom's couch. I moved to Vegas in 2002. 6 months later, and I was fully licensed, fully insured licensee by then, already on my own at 18, Series 7, 6, 63, life, health, all that stuff. I just didn't know what the heck to do with it.
Sure.
So I just had it and didn't know what to do
But
with
you
it.
were hustling. You were
yeah.
working your
No,
butt
yeah,
off,
it. Yeah, I was framing houses at the same time. I was in Rockland, California, out there by the Galleria Mall. And then, I 2002, 2003, bank. I'm like, screw this, going to go insurance and investments. Went New York Life for 6 years, was top 1, 2 in the nation, got all the awards.
Working your ass off in New York Life. Being top 1%, that's hard work. Good for you, Kirby.
And then went through a divorce and the crash of the market. And every single person that I was still getting paid for and getting residual income was a realtor. And they all tell me, they all became my clients and friends. Still today they are. Like, you got to get into real estate. So 2010, had to take a little segue for 6 months. Went through some bad times and went back to the bank to save up enough money for 3 months of living expenses to get into real estate in 2010 and have it back.
Good. That's a good story, bro. When did you go independent with your own brokerage?
So it's 2013. I was Prudential first, which is now Berkshire, under a great broker, but I was under a team lead. He became his own thing during the REO phase, chasing sign calls. So people, leads now, these are candy versus chasing to grab the phone off the desk to go listen to a sign call and hope that person's there when you get out there. So the ALM strategy we use now, I tell my agents, I'm like, you have no clue what it was then.
Yeah, that's the easiest script ever. Like, if you can't master this, quit.
Yes. Like, it's like, come on. So we chased those, but then I realized that wasn't enough. And went to my sphere influence from the insurance world and the banking world and ended up becoming like top producer for a team. And then that crash happened with the robo signings and REOs. I went to my broker then. I was like, hey, you're losing 5 listings a week from the 60. What are you going to do? And he's like, oh, it's all going to be good. I'm like, no, it's not. I was like, I gave up 10K in renewals at New York Life to do this a month. Like, this got to work, man. So I went to my sales manager then, who was a Zillow. She just started getting Zillow with him. And she said, have you heard of Zillow? And that's where that went. And then that started going forever. It was bonkers. It went, that's when we had to do, you got 25% off if you did a 6-month contract. You got 35% or something for a year contract. And then, so I bought the strip Travis Roberts was my rep. Anyone who knows Zillow and knows Travis, you know Travis. He became one of the top dogs there. And I beat him up for a couple days, and then I got the strip $550 for 50% of the strip, and we bought both spots. There's 2 spots then. And I had never sold a high rise in my life. I didn't even know what they looked like. I'm scared of heights on top of it. And then I started showing these high rises. I had to develop a whole system on how to sell high rises, because in Vegas, they come to shows and they want to like see all these different things. So I developed a 1.5 hour tour of 15 high rises. I could do it, see them goodbye, but then they'd offer sight unseen after that, because once you see one tower, you know it forever.
Sure.
Once it pops. And then, so I was about a month into that, and I got into Trulia. And Trulia was super cool then, because I had the little slider. You go wherever you want, you slide it. And we're 100%, like my big ass face just showed up. I had to go get a Sears headshot. I didn't even have a headshot. I had to get a headshot because I had to have something show up on the whole right thing. And on the side there, I remember showing my like title and lender rep one day, and like they're partnering me with this organization. We're like sitting there at a Mexican restaurant. I'm like, I gotta show you guys this shit. Look at this. And like mobile hotspotted then, because it wasn't how it is now. Sure. And I'm like, look, I like had my phone all connected, computer and crap. I'm like, look, I show up on all these zip codes, like only me. And they're like, holy crap, what is this? And so we went from a 550 budget. I went to, and again, I had not sold a lead yet, but I knew I was up to like 3,500 a month by my 3rd month. And then finally, that 3rd month, when I was dead broke, I seriously was not going to be able to pay my rent. I'm like, screw it, tried it, whatever. First deal hit or went through. And then every single penny minus what I had to pay for my little nut of bills, then I put into leads, long term.
Yep. Good. How many deals are you guys on track to do this year total?
We're on track to do at least, shit, I gotta add it up now. We've grown so much. We've grown 20 agents in 3 months.
Oh, that's terrific.
So on track to do 600, but
yeah,
I have.
That's so many.
No, I want 1,000.
Sure.
I want 1,000 and 150 agents, and that's it. That's all. And then I'll try going Lindahl numbers after that.
That's funny. Yeah, that's agent productivity being in a good spot too. So I want to talk about these leads. So
yeah,
you've been buying leads since 2012. I think it's terrific. I've been an agent since 2014. I got to my desk, called one of my old business partners in another life, and said, "Bro, I need some business. Like, I just want to sell some houses." "Oh, do you remember Zillow?" "Yeah, I heard of them." "Well, they sell leads." I'm like, "Man, I only have like $1,000. He goes, "Well, I'm a lender, so we can go 50-50. Let's do 225 each." I'm like, "Man, that's like so much money." All that's available is the most challenged part of Sacramento. And he goes, "But we got to get in there." So yeah, I got in there.
You got the diamond zone, the gems, what I call it. Diamonds are the zip codes that everyone's. The gems are what people can't find, but it's there. Because every investor who has money goes to the gems. They don't go to the diamonds when they click on something.
I went in there, and like that first year, I sold like 15 houses off of that.
Oh, nice.
And I was all, wow. A couple of them are 50 grand in Sacramento, bro. A listing for 50 grand. Like it's good practice. I had a handyman get shot in the arm at one of my listings too off that first year, but it gave me instant practice. And then, yeah, I reinvested all I could into all the different systems. So,
I gotta go. So my Christmas gift to all my agents is last year at my house party, because I know the eviction moratorium list for us on June 1st here, and there it's going to be like REO days, what's already happening out here, and squatters and families not being able to be places, so they're going to be in there, and there's going to be aggressive ones. So I got them all flashlight tasers. They look like flashlights, but it's a taser because I remember REO days. It's a different world.
Eviction moratorium is going to lift in Vegas on June 1st.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen?
It's already well, no, it already happened for CDC, but June 1st is like the big date because of all the 7 days. So our inventory went up. Today I looked at our inventory. I'm like, crap, there's no way we have 1,500 new or 1,000 whatever new list. We had 500 new listings 7 days. We had over 1,000 rentals listed because now the people.
Oh,
So it's June
wow.
1st though is like also Vegas is 100% no social distancing, whatever governor things lifted. We don't have the mask thing like California. You guys got Newsom said 15th for no mask. He hasn't said that here yet though.
I thought I heard 15 for no max from a Sisalak too, but
Oh, so he added? I hope so, because that's
I
like the
don't
thing
know.
where like I can be 100% so, but you still have like it's weird. So the movement's already happening, and what? So when we got Flex, we dropped our property management because we only had like 25 homes under. It was,
So let's talk about that. Is
yeah,
you used to have property management, but you had 25 doors, so you dropped it when you got Zillow Flex. And Zillow Flex, for those listeners that don't know,
yeah,
it's like Zillow's referral model of leads, and people, and I mean, people who get them like them,
oh yeah,
right? For the
yeah.
most part. So you dropped property management when you got Flex. Go ahead.
Dropped it because it was our time is more we're more about getting that customer experience with that transfer. Then Aaron, who's my lead mentor, was also our property manager, and he runs our team of 5 mentors. Then and so his time when he walked into me and I got Flex, he's like, "Hey, property management." I was like, "It's killing you, isn't it?" I was like, "Cool." We were brokered with a Berkshire, my guy, so I was like, "Let's just give it all, Chris. Just write it off. Let's focus on what we need to focus on. He's great at
So
that. Let him do that. We'll focus on what we're great at, which is converting these calls coming in."
so
And
how do you convert them? Like let's talk about it. Do you have any? So do you guys do the leads geographically or price point based, or
no, my team, if you get past, we do a boot camp. If you're on, you're live. We have the Ylopo, we have Google, all those things. And so Flex, you get after you go on Ylopo for at least a week, and you can improve my systems that you're putting them in the right action plans, right stages, everything's connected, right tags. Once you have that completed,
and you
and
guys are using Follow Up Boss to do all that?
yeah, so we use Follow Boss, we use with Ylopo, and then we have actually I got it from a post you did. Our backend is Broker Sumo. Way back in the past, you said something on it, so we got that. We've been using, and then we use we're building out Octum right now, AUCTM,
Sure.
and
With Rich and those guys, yeah.
no, Rich is awesome. So what we're doing with that is I told him I'm basing the whole model of how on Flex we go after appointment rate, met rate, offer rate, conversion rate, and the percentages that we go with that. We're basing that same model in the ALM model, which is when you're on the phone 4 minutes or less, appointment, location, motivation with the client, and get out there face to face. That whole model we're doing also on the Ylopo leads,
Good, you
and
should.
converting them at a higher percentage already instantly.
Makes it easier just to be uniform. But so leads come in, no geographic routing. It's all just whoever gets it, right?
First
Or
to
do you
claim.
have the geography?
First to claim.
Okay.
If you can't drive 50 minutes to an hour and a half on my team, you're not part of my team. We're
Okay.
like, and especially in Vegas, like a lead may hit because they're on the strip and they're looking at a cool high rise, but they want to buy a house actually in Mount Charleston. Once you talk to them, you don't know. So I've never ever judged the lead when it first hits is not, what is it? They say 97. My rep just only 97% of the time they don't buy that house.
Sure.
So you have to know like it doesn't matter geographic because it could be totally different side of town. Especially Vegas is such a huge location for relocation right now. People don't know Vegas. They're just clicking on what they like the picture of.
Sure. I like geography, man. I've been moving more over to a pod based with the geography, especially when like that first appointment is when conversion matters so much that if somebody can come to that appointment and might live, like somebody wants to buy a house in Cameron Park and my agent that lives in West Sac goes out
Oh yeah.
there.
So that living there, I totally get that because like my dad commuted 50 minutes to East Sac from Cameron Park. Whereas in Vegas, we're
Everything's more tight like
yeah,
that. Yes.
it's the only things we have outskirts Mount Charleston and Lake Las Vegas. But even Lake Las Vegas is 40 minutes max. But
So
everything else, yeah.
so lead comes in, first to claim, you have all the agents on all the time, right? Or do you have certain like floor
No.
duty, or do
You
you do
have
that?
to. We have uh we have production requirements that you must hit first. 3 sales, 3 months. If you get paused on that, then you have to make it up. Once you hit those three, then you go to the next phase. But as far as it's first to claim, if your tasks are caught up. Our tasks are the basic Robbie T method plan that he built out and told us about 2 years ago when I first saw Cheplack at the summit, Wailopo. And so I built those, and we've of course adjusted them based off of what's happened in the world, everything and stuff like that. And so lead comes in, Wailopo and or Google pay per click, whatever it is, those are first claim. Of course, Flex is live connection, OpCity's live connection, Ojo's live connection. Ojo's the only one they have to currently in LSA add in manually until Wailopo creates the full thing that's about to drop with the LSA, where we have the uh, what do you call it? The ISA department and goes follow boss. So right now, those Ojo, we just kind of let it fly because it's kind of whoever's on is on, and my assistant in the morning just goes through and audits it, say to make sure they added them in, got stars added in, and all that kind of stuff. LSA, we only have going to the mentors, who I guarantee I know the 4 are going to. Plus, we only have 4 or 5 on follow boss of that live thing to make sure they're added in, they're working on the backside until they build that thing out, which it's dropping soon. It's just building out an ISA department, as you know, it's especially with the size they're going to do it, it's just a different level.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Wailopo is doing some kind of ISA thing.
So yeah, G just the sellers, whatever they just launched, they just talked about it last Thursday. So what they're doing is Google LSA is local service ads. So Google got into the lead game. Our average right now is about $45, $50 a lead. So when you Google right now Las Vegas agents, you'll see 3 people on top, or you do Sacramento agents, see 3 people on top. They click on it, it goes a live call. When you get that call, you gotta get off the phone in 30 seconds less if it's a renter and or a solicitor, because we get a lot of solicitors, or we get charged for it. What Wailopo's doing right now is they're building out an ISA department that will take those live calls, screen them for us, collect the info, and it will hit our follow-up boss with stars, everything connected, and first to claim, we can push it to our agents, but it's already been vetted and cleaned through ISA department.
I think I'd rather it come to my ISA team like I do mine locally, because you got the local touch. Like GLS, we've been converting them and getting them forever.
No, 100%. So if you have like an LSA,
if you don't have the local people talking to them, you're gonna lose them.
Because like I don't have ISA team. Everything was us, our local agent.
Maybe pro tip: I've been converting those super high for a long ass time. I think I got 5 times as many reviews as anybody else in Sacramento too. So good job to me. But
what is your rate that you're doing on the booking rate? We're at like 35.9 or something with this 4.
No idea, but I know that I show up 89% of the time. I know that there's listings galore out of those leads right now.
That's what we're getting a ton of too. Yeah.
But I would rather them come to my ISAs because it's local. Like those are local conversations. And I think when you start to outsource that kind of stuff, what I found is when you outsource that kind of stuff at scale, that you're going to lose conversion.
And that's what I'll be able to tell, because we've been doing it on our own for the last, since February, I think, when it launched out here in Vegas. So I'm like 3 months in. So I'll be able to, just like zip codes, compare the numbers and how they work, because I know where we're at currently exactly to the dollar and percentage. But I don't know. I have a good feeling with that thing, but it's going to also get saturated and price will go up on them. So we will see how that works. Right now, killer though. Yeah, listings like crazy, but once we get a little bit inventory more, what's going to happen? I did the whole thing with Cheplack where we did the Google review contest too. And so we're up there. It's I think we're at like 256. But I could have got to 1,000. I just only did it for like a short time I'm just like kind of testing the water with it.
Sure. Good. So back to the lead routing with Zillow. So no ISAs, all those connections go to the agents.
Yeah.
As long as they qualify. and then every morning, what you guys do, have the tasks listed inside a Follow Up Boss, and you just look, does buyer agent Bob on
They
your
have to
team?
text or email my assistant between 9 and 5 Monday through Friday. It's me on the weekends. At night, I cut everybody off. I have overflow. Uh, and 9 to 5, my assistant or myself, if she's off, we look as long as they've done every single task. They text us, hey, caught up. We go verify it. We verify they've actually logged the calls and it's recorded. So someone's not just clicking it. And then we put them on. If they're clicking it, she sends it to me and then I have a talk with them.
That's good. That's the way to do it. How do you make sure that they update their leads? Same way?
In Zillow?
Yeah.
She every day we send a report out. Zillow says I'm kind of a policing nut, but so we do the task. That's one thing. But then every day we send out a follow-up boss. Anyone, I have all the filters where if there's not a call recorded, they get called or they get notified, pick it up, and the mentors tell them. We have a flex audit every single day on the percentages. We have a
And you're doing that through Octum. You're building that out through Octum, or you're doing it through
no
Follow Up
Octum's
Boss
whole new
right
toy I'm just playing with. I haven't even
So you manually do that every day?
that plus and that's where Danny's working with me to build Octum so she can just do the triggers.
Sure.
And it's the same thing. Because we're already doing it, it's just going to be one trigger pull versus 4 right now. And then she goes in and just pulls on our contacts with Zillow, whoever needs updates, and notifies them. And then anyone who's behind doesn't get on.
Sure.
And we're fine with that. If you're behind, be on vacation, be showing homes, but you don't get on unless you're on. And then, and then the team has been very. We're bringing on, now we'll bring on 20 agents a month. We should get to, because now we just expanded to a new office. It took a month, but they know that the person coming in isn't their competitor. It's the person that's going to help them get bigger and better because it's going to rise their game. And then also we do so many different things like rev share and mentor share. We give a lot of pieces of puzzle. So everybody, when someone sells a deal, a lot of people are making money off of it.
Oh, good.
Like one person today closed a deal and I think I paid 6 people.
Interesting.
So it's just little pieces from my side on the split that we give off of that.
And it motivates everybody.
Yeah, so they're happy when someone else does something.
Good, yeah.
I talk fast, I know, a lot.
No. So I'm just like thinking, like, I love all those Zillow conversations because I think it's popular questions about the conversion, and me doing this show and can be a little selfish because I always want to talk about that.
I just said it in a video the other day. So when we're on YLOPO, a normal person with YLOPO, or we were pre-market before with Zillow, which is almost same kind of top of funnel stuff. You're lucky to get 1.5%, 2%, and it's all nurture. It's all working the shit out of it with Follow Up Boss and Raya and everything and websites. With where we're currently hitting with YLOPO, and it took. I'm 2 years in now, and so now the stuff from before is finally cultivated because it takes like 18 months. But PPC has also totally changed the game. We're probably about like 5% on YLOPO conversion, but
why is PPC changing the game?
Because people, so I always explain like a funnel. So like pre-market, which was our Zillow product before, where a lot of seminar buyers, renters, stuff like that, people want a deal. The house wasn't actually available. They're clicking on that, and it's all it. And then it's the same thing as YLOPO. They're clicking on social. They're clicking on a picture, a pretty picture on Facebook. They're just clicking it. Form being pre-filled by Facebook, and you get that lead. That's top funnel. Total stuff you have to nurture, culture, all that kind of stuff, or whatever you call it. Now with PPC, that person actually typed in something. They've actually targeted something, keywords, area, something, homes. So that is mid-funnel. And then Zillow Flex or Concierge for Premier Agents, OpCity, which is Realtor, Ojo, which is Movado, and I forget the other portal. Those are not, they're vetted, but the reality is it's just a live person. So when you're normal, back in the day, it was 35% we'd get on calls, pick up off the internet leads. This is your 100% already talking to them. So it's just totally different. Those are
Sure.
bottom of funnel. And now LSA is a way different game because all of our stuff, they've already done so much. It's like they look at that, but they've already studied you on Google. If you have your Google My Business set up right, like we're not, my agents that are on that aren't having to sell themselves at all. Like they already have bought us and they're wanting us just to go. It's like LSA is honestly like Burger King. It's like, hey, take my order.
Good. That's the good explanation. Good, man. So no ISAs,
Yeah.
using a lot of tech.
I have
Uh,
recruiting ISAs.
yeah. How's that working for you?
Power ISA, which I know you use. I tried. I think I got a bad walk in the walk with just who was setting it up. They had no clue.
Okay.
But Smart Setter,
Oh yeah. We used to have
uh,
an account there too. Yeah.
Smart Setter I've been happy with because we had nothing for 3 months, 4 months. And I talked to John and he's like, so when I say John knows, John Cheplak, Sanit's with him too. And he said, you got to get to the in-person. Like that was a problem going from them doing this phone call shit. And my wife does the recruiting and all the interviews. And
Oh,
she's
really? That's terrific. Good.
so she's doing all the calls and she's also in production and she's like just not any of them are getting into the office. So John said make an in-person appointment and they fought back at first and they're like, well, we don't do it. I'm like, well, I don't care. I'm 3 4 months in, I paid all this money, we haven't had one person walk in-person appointments. First week 2 hired.
And since then?
Oh, I 6. That's because it's only been like a month and a half since because and we were building and changing offices at the same time too. So we kind of like laid back and like we've been busy
That
with
sounds
other
like it
stuff.
worked.
No, it totally
Shit.
works. We had
Yeah.
help him with our script, and we changed the script to more direct. Like, know you're gonna come to the office. We want to show you what we got, and then
Good.
once we go Hawaii next week for my birthday, and once we get back, I'm gonna raise that spend up because we're only about 20% of 80% of the market still left I can take of that.
Take it, man.
Oh yeah,
Grow that sucker, right? Good.
yep. I told the wife, sorry, you have a lot of appointments.
So good. I think that's awesome too that she has her license and is in production. You guys have any kids?
We one stepdaughter and trying for another.
Um, but are you still in production?
No, and I told Hedda, my friend out of San Diego runs my leads there now, and she finally got out in March. I got out of production after I met Cheplak at the summit. That's
Why?
where he said, if you're a team leader broker, he said, why are you chasing a $10,000 commission when you could chase $100,000 agent? And my brain right there, I'm like, dumbass. Why didn't I think about that? And so my whole focus from there on, but it's changed multiple things with COVID happened and after like on the recruiting. It's been all just recruiting. I spend as much on recruiting right now as I spend on leads probably.
You do same
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah, all the different things I do. And
Good.
I in the same way as a lead and it's long term, I always bought the leads knowing they may not buy today, but I'm building that pipeline, that database.
Sure.
That's the same way I feel on the brand and the push with the agent recruiting piece is because that's who I need. I need because like Grant Cardone style, you never know that guy, even if it's a waiter, if he's going to be the next freaking number one guy. You don't know. So
So
I'm
true,
willing to
Grant,
take.
Uncle Grant.
Oh yeah, I'm like
Um,
willing to take the chance on him as long as we have the systems, processes, and policing in place, so I don't get screwed on giving something that I won't get back.
are you running like recruiting ads on social?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Uh, I just did one because I'm going on vacation. So I'm like, well, I'm going on vacation, so I might as well bump it up. So I just dropped like $200 a day for like 6 days on just a new video for our office. I do. We have about $15 a day going on subliminal message ads that we worked with a PR company saying rebel against, and this is why we're the brokerage for you.
Love
Like
it.
just
Love it.
agents.
Love it.
We do
Goes
five.
to a targeted list or
Those
retargeted
are
list.
that's targeted of actual agents that are licensed, and then we do $5 a day towards a scholarship one, and then I have a PR department, Media Minefield, that I got from the Cheplak group. I only highlight all my agents, so every time we hire someone new, I give them the stories and they go push them out. So we give out a story a week off of them right now.
So they push them out where?
She like Noel's my rep there, so like Monteith, my friend who joined us, was a Circus Soleil dancer, so they'll go push it to like all the news stations and newspapers and all that stuff and just try to get some kind of coverage. So we've had multiple of our agents now brand new. I mean, they're only been in the business, some of them 3 months, on podcasts, Authority Magazine, then another magazine.
Dude, that's so cool. What's that called? Media Minefield?
Media Minefield is a PR company that they're already booked in Vegas. Anywhere else, I'll hit them up. So I give her all the info of everybody, whoever hiring their cool story or what their story is, and then she goes and pushes to outlets like Changing Careers or Doing This or Flipping the Coin, and then we get all the news coverage from it for each person. Like Gustavo's one of my agents. He used to be a club promoter. He also he's the guy sells Chom Chom for Canada, multi-millionaire off of that. But
I don't even know what Chom Chom is, but go ahead.
It's like a pet lint roller thing that's on Amazon. And so, but if you go to out here right now, the builders are doing lotteries, and he's like 6 for 6 on it at this time that we did the ad. So like I pushed that quick thing that he told me one day in a meeting, and then she got him featured in the newspaper, like quick. From that, he got a listing.
Wow, that's terrific.
And then, so just the PR. I mean, I got so many recruiting things going. It's crazy. Basically, if it's out there, I try it. Just like leads in the past for buying leads to get consumers. I'm doing it on the recruiting stuff, but I cut it quick too. I make sure the contracts are very, I can get out when it's just a load of crap or not. Because a lot of them will push and say they can do stuff, but they can't.
Dude, that's so great. So what's the goal for the year, both for agents and for transactions?
1,000 homes, 150 agents. Now I got the new office. I may have to push it up to 250.
Good. Get some. If any of our listeners want to reach out to you and send you a deal or pick your brain about all of these lead systems that you got, how do they do that? What's the best way to reach out?
Easiest is just Kirby, Kirby, like the vacuum, like Kirby Puckett, like Kirby's Dreamland, at Scofield Realty, SCOFIELD. If you're listening, Realty. So SCOFIELD Realty.
If you're listening, realty.com. Kirby at ScofieldRealty.com.
Yeah,
maybe they spell it wrong still.
Yeah. And website ScofieldRealty.com. And yeah, that's me. Oh, and myself. Anyone can always hit myself. I don't care. 702-219-4615.
There you go, everybody. Give Kirby a call at the same time. Let's blow him up. Cool, man. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Anit.